I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.
All right. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and do response video in to Professor Tim Wilson. Um, I've been a subscriber to Tim Wilson, Professor Tim Wilson, for 4 years, like 4.5 years at least. And he asked a question in response to he was answering a question, uh, and and the question is Donald Trump a failed president? Now that is obvious at this point. It's obvious as an American because Tim Wilson is from the UK, and since the King of England, I mean the King of the UK, uh, is in Washington D.C., King Charles III will address Congress within the next couple of hours, and the speech that Donald Trump gave with the King today was very, very odd. I might want to talk about that later on. Who knows? But I want to address uh, the second part of the question. The second part is who can clean up the mess he left behind? I don't think it's going to be a who. um, I don't think. I think it's going to take in answering to Professor Wilson's question, and he says it's not going to be J.D. Vance. Now, you know what? I'm going to play the last part of what he said because I agree with it, but then I don't think that I don't think that Professor Wilson um is going to take generations. All right, but you know what? Let me play the last part that he said. And yes, it's fair use because I put the copyright.
He overestimates the power of threats. He sees conviction as opening bluster. He mistakes fanaticism for bargaining posture. The result is danger. Trump is dangerous because Iran's nuclear ambitions are real. And a president who treats a nuclear crisis as a prestige contest risks strengthening the very danger he claims to defeat. You could say the same thing.
Yeah. And I know I was going to talk about the who's going to clean up the mess behind. I'm not going to address. Let me address this part. Iran will have nuclear weapons within the next 10, 15 years. Okay? They're going to have nukes. And so does every other rogue nation that's going to have nuclear weaponry. And even on that part, right? Trust and believe that a country like, let's say, North Korea, right, which is a rogue nation unto itself, that is successful in attaining and keeping its own nuclear weaponry. Now, North Korea probably might have what, 4 or 5 nukes at best. At best, they might have 4 or 5 atom bombs, hydrogen bombs, what may have you. What makes you think they won't give one of theirs to any rogue nation? Let's say Afghanistan or some Central Asian nation or some Middle Eastern country like Yemen, or the breakaway parts of Yemen by the Houthis, or some of the African countries and that's breaking away from other countries like South Sudan or the Sudanese people or the Mali people. What makes you think North Korea won't give one of their nukes or the technology to create one and outsource it after what happened in Iran? Even Iran itself might sit there and see. It's kind of like you beat a dog, and then when the dog comes vicious, oh, you blaming the dog, but you villainize this dog. The dog's been a villain, right? The dog has bit people before, but you kept messing with the dog over and over again that the dog turned loose and he's running rampage throughout the neighborhood. And you mess with the dog because out of the idea of for transactional reasons, trying to curry favor, campaign for favor from the evangelical community or from the defense community, defense industrial complex community. And somebody like Donald Trump, he won't be around. He won't be able to see the next 30 years of what might happen. See, we in the West, right? You know what? Better yet. Let me just go ahead and play some of what he just said. Because it's really the last part I want to talk about.
Thing about his relationship with Putin If the strikes damaged buildings but failed to secure the uranium, then they hardened Tehran's resolve. If they pushed Iran closer to Russia, if they raised oil prices, if they strained allies, if they gave the regime a nationalist story, then the adventure has not been efficacious. It has been a prod, and a costly prod. He has prodded the hornet's nest. That is not a sign of success. That is not something we should be praising. That is a child kicking in a tantrum, something that is supremely dangerous.
I know. I should have brought my premium. I'm broke, y'all. Don't never mind about that. But I just want to know, as people though, what do you think is going to happen? I want to know what do y'all think is going to happen in the next 5, 6, 7, 8, up until the next 25 years. What you think is going to happen? V-Dub said he's not sure who the GOP will run, but it may not work after this administration. Right. The centrifuges to spin it will cost a lot and expect to get it right. It will sell 2 million laws. Listen, V-Dub, to whom? I mean, it might set off some alarms, but guess what? I don't think people are going to care. I don't think because of the behavior of the current administration, I don't think the international community is going to give two tinkers of a damn. After what Israel and the United States have done, I don't think anybody cares anymore, because everything from the last 24 years or 25 years, trust has been eroded, right? The world's trust in America has been eroded. And especially after this, the second Trump administration. I mean, we are in a pissing match with Spain. We're telling the French president to go to hell. Then we quote unquote bullied Denmark over Greenland. We sent money to and then we incur now that we're prodding Argentina to retake the Falklands. But wait a minute, aren't the Falklands part of the British people, or the British of the UK, who's supposed to be the ally that King Charles is visiting the capital as we speak? Well, who is going to clean it up? Who's going to clean all this up? And my thing is, it's not going to take one president to clean up after Trump. It's going to take 5. It's going to take 5 administrations to clean up whatever Trump did within the last, let's say starting from his first term up till today. It's going to take 5 presidents to clean up, 5, 6 presidents, administrations, to clean up all of this, right? But let me go ahead and play this. Let me play this. I'm going to play this last part, though.
A failing presidency is not only one with bad polls, and it's not only something that you can shrug and walk away from. A failing presidency can define the next decade, if there is one.
If there is one. Good. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, if there is one.
It is one whose instruments fail at the moment of maximum need. Tariffs fail as economics. Executive orders fail in court. Threats fail against Iran. Lies fail against prices. Performance fails against the war. That is the pattern. And the problem with a failing presidency is Trump is at the apex, is at the top of this pyramid. Who cleans up after Trump? J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance couldn't clean up after himself. J.D. Vance is a hamster that runs around the cage and goes up and down its treadmill, round and round its treadmill. J.D. Vance is not a cleaner. J.D. Vance is part of the failing presidency that Trump has created. Trump's presidency is failing because it confuses noise with command. Vance is part of that noise.
I somewhat agree. I don't disagree, I should say. I don't disagree, but notice that JD Vance is not gun-ho when it comes to Iran. And I believe that he might break away from Trump. I'm gonna give it to, like, well, you know what, the sure bet. I'm place my bet on this. I believe around December of this year as a sure bet. Now, I'm being generalist, but I would say around July he's going to break. But I think that, you know, depending on the midterms, I think around December he's going to break with Trump, especially over Iran. Trump can't fire Vance, and it's going to be surprising. You know, I'm going to say this right now, and it's going to sound a shocker to people. I think Vance might be the only person that might check Trump. I know that's a reach. I know that is a credible wide reach. So, I don't think though Vance would. I'm just saying. I think it's a reach, but I think there is a possibility that Vance. Well, the thing is, Vito. Is that Vance is a millennial, right? Whereas, and I'm gonna say this because there are different frameworks. See, Vance is not like Pence, right? Pence is under this evangelical illusion, right? He's on this evangelical, you know, I'm a Christian, blah 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 blah. I'm a devout Christian, blah blah blah. I'm gonna turn the other cheek. Vance is a different type of character, different type of animal, and Trump being older, you know, he's up in age, and then second that, and we're now seeing his cognitive skills waning, right? He's not cognitive. So I think that unlike Pence, I think Vance might in some way. And like I said, it's a stretch. I don't. I'm just putting this idea out here. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just putting this idea out here because I see a possibility. I believe it's possible. Vance might save America from Trump or from MAGA itself, because MAGA is just all it's all breaking into a thousand different pieces at this point. And Vance will never be elected president, right? He'll never be elected president, but he can act it as president as a swan song of his own. I'm trying to remember how can I say it? He's going to be the way I see it, right? It's going to be how I imagine it. It'll be like how a redemption arc almost. If you ever watch a movie where the bad guy becomes not the good guy, but he becomes a someone with a conscience, right? The bad guys start to grow a conscience. He'd be someone like Scarface, the 1983's Scarface, right? Montana, right? Montana was a bad guy until he didn't want to assassinate this guy at the UN because he saw the kids in the car, right? And it went too far. And I believe that he'll go down like how, well, you know what? He'll go down like how Jerry Ford went down. He might be president for at least a year, and then he'll fade away in 28. At least he'll be remembered as, the guy who fill in the gap. But other than that, though, I think that who's going to clean up the mess? I think that I don't think it's going to be who. I think it's going to be what. What is willing to clean this up? Now the who part, I mean, I think the only people who are going to clean up, I think that it's going to be people we don't know, presidents who had not been elected yet. I bet you there are about 4 or 5 people who's going to be president within the next 20 years who's going to have to clean up all this up. And the what part is going to be a miracle. Okay, it's going to be a miracle. It's going to be a providence, right? I think providence is going to step in and clean it up. That's what I believe is going to happen. And what's so sad is that people are not going to learn from it. People going to, a lot of people are not going to learn from their past mistakes. I mean, it's just going to be some dumb luck or providence, the grace of God coming in, and after it's all said and done, assuming if it's going to be fixed, right? Some people are not going to relinquish the baby boomers are not, well, baby boomers are fading away, but they're not going to learn from their own mistakes. They're not. And the Gen Xers that helped Trump in office, they're not going to understand it. as well. The Gen Xers is not going to understand it as well. So so who is going to fix it? It's going the grace of God. It's going to be providence. You know, in the long run, you know, and hold on, somebody text me. Hold on, let me see what it's about. George Golden said, I think Vance is too much of a lapdog and a brown nose. Then again, I could be wrong. Yeah. Yes. Though he is a lapdog, right? But let's look at it from his vantage point, right? He's not happy about the Iranian strikes. Vance, people like JD Vance and Joe Clark. No, I'm sorry, not what I'm saying. Joe Clark, Joe Kent, the national security. What's the name? The terrorism thing. The national security on terrorism director. I mean, if you look at some of these people who are people who didn't want no new wars, they're sucking up for at this point. But I think after what happened in February, March, and the mask has fell off, slowly they're going to be pushed. Hold on. Okay. But then there's Pete Hegseth. Yeah. But I think Hegseth's going to be impeached. Okay. I think Hegseth's going to be the main one that if Democrats are smart, right? If Democrats are smart, they'll come after him first. Okay. I wouldn't go after Trump. No, I use 25 Amendment. Where I'm at. I use Amendment 25 to go after Trump, but I'll start impeaching Hegseth right then and there because he's part of the problem though. Okay, he's the one pushing the war in Iran and everything else. Him and Marco Rubio. Okay. I think Marco Rubio and Hegseth needs to be pushed up out of there. Corrupt preacher? Who? Huh? Corrupt preacher? Who are you referring to? But no, that's Professor Tim Wilson from Britain. He's going in on Trump. Yeah, he's going in on Trump. So, he's no preacher. But anyway, where was I at? But yeah, I who's going to clean up the mess? Back to the point where I was at, because I'm just rambling right now because being interrupted. It's going to take 4 or 5 presidents to fix what Trump has done, and it's going to start a war within the next 10, 15 years behind this. And I also think though the nuclear, because of what happened in Iran, I think nuclear weapons will be spread in Africa, in the Middle East, in Central Asia, because of what Trump did. I actually think though there might be some nuclear weapons program in Cuba and Venezuela or Colombia now. I mean, because it's going to spread because of what Trump did, because diplomacy took a back seat for transactions. That's all this is. It's based on transactions, not based upon, actual, so yeah. But anyway, the King George is going to speak at the Congress today, and then we might get a black prime minister in the UK. Maybe David Lammy or Kimmy Badenoch. But I hope to God it's not Kimmy Badenoch, because she's such a self-hating, she's such a self-hating ass. And I'm being PG-13 for and the purpose of the live stream, I'm being PG-13 for right now, for the context of this video, because I would like to go all up in on Kimmy Badenoch, but anyway, so yeah, because of the Epstein files is the rave in the UK, and Keir Starmer might be resigning within the next 2 weeks. That's my estimation about the Prime Minister of the UK, because he might resign over the whole Epstein files issue. Even though he wasn't a part of the Epstein files, it was about the for those who don't know, it was about the UK's ambassador to the United States that was on the Epstein Island or Epstein Ranch, and he wasn't vetted, and he was hired anyway. So Keir Starmer's on his way out. He might as well just go ahead and quit. He might as well just go ahead and resign, because I think they're going to try to push him out. So we might get a black prime minister in the UK, and David Lammy. So anyway, I said enough. Let me get out of here. I gotta go to bed. So I'm out. Y'all have a good one.
I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.